The focus of today's session is breathing. Now, obviously we all breathe. It's an involuntary process and we're breathing every second of the day and while we're asleep. Our body does it automatically, and thank God for that. Otherwise we might forget to breathe. But it's also a process that is under our voluntary control, and that's what we're looking at today. We're looking at controlled voluntary breathing. Now, the reason that we want to do this is we want to improve the quality of our breath. By doing so, by breathing more effectively, then we can control stress. We can also improve our concentration and our energy levels by oxygenating our body, our organs more effectively. So a lot of people misunderstand the breathing process. It's very intuitive to think that we suck or draw air into our lungs, and that's actually not what happens. What happens is we expand the space within our chest by contracting our diaphragm and by expanding our chest, our thorax. And by doing so we create a lower pressure within our chest. The air pressure within our chest is lower than the atmospheric pressure surrounding us. Now, air always has to go from a higher pressure to a lower pressure. So when we lower the pressure of the air within our chest, then the air from outside us flows into our chest cavity, into our lungs, and then gas exchange can take place. So what we're wanting to do when we're concentrating on our voluntary breathing is improving the action of our diaphragm and also improving the expansion of our chest so that we can really create a nice airspace, a nice big airspace in our chest. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. I always start every session of yoga with mantra chanting. And mantra chanting is a really good breathing exercise. When we sing or we chant, it is vocalized breathing. The Om sound is actually made up of 3 sounds. The first sound is ah. The second sound is ooh. And the third sound is mm. When we join them all together, we get the Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Gunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejas Samastu Bhavivi Savavahe. The meaning of this mantra is, may both teacher and student be protected. May we be nourished. May we work together with energy and vigour. May our study be enlightening. Let there be no animosity between us. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take some time to observe your normal breathing. Sit on a bolster or a cushion. This will raise your hips up slightly and make it easier for you to sit with a straight back. It's much easier to breathe when we have a good posture. Breathe in and out through your nose and try to breathe as normally as possible. Just notice how it feels. Notice as the air enters through your nostrils, passes down the back of your throat, into your lungs. Notice your chest expanding. Notice whether your abdomen expands too. And then notice what happens when you exhale. As your chest contracts, and then as the air exits your nostrils. Notice how easy it feels for you to breathe, or whether there feels like there's any obstruction. Probably the type of breathing or the way of breathing that you're most familiar with is with your chest, your thorax. Using the muscles in between our ribs, the intercostal muscles, to expand our rib cage. So we're just going to take time to feel that now. To do so, place your hands, your palms, over your rib cage so that your middle two fingers touch in the middle. As you breathe in, your fingertips should come apart. And as you exhale, they should come back together again. Take some really nice deep breaths in, just using your chest. Also, place your hand over your collarbone, your clavicle. Feel how it rises when you inhale and how it falls when you exhale. Although we commonly associate breathing with our chest rising and falling, chest breathing or thoracic breathing is not the most efficient way to breathe. In fact, it can make our body tense, as if it's under stress, because activated upper chest muscles increase feelings of anxiety. The most relaxed and efficient way of breathing is with our abdomen. Abdominal breathing uses our diaphragm. Our diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle which separates our chest and abdomen. When we breathe in using our diaphragm, the diaphragm tightens, flattens, and contracts and moves down, opening up our chest space. When that happens, it pushes our abdominal organs down, which causes our stomach to come out as we inhale. Then, as the diaphragm relaxes, it moves up again, allowing our abdominal organs to move up again, and so our stomach comes in. This decreases our chest space, and we can exhale. So we're just going to feel what that feels like now. Place your hand on your stomach. As you inhale, push your stomach out. This is your diaphragm contracting. As you exhale, draw your stomach in using your stomach muscles. Pull that belly button back towards your spine. Another good way to feel abdominal breathing is to lay on your front in crocodile pose, with your arms crossed and your forehead on your forearms. Laying in this position allows you to use the ground as a tactile cue to really feel what it's like to expand your abdomen as you inhale. This position also helps to keep the secondary respiratory muscles out of the process. The diaphragm is a muscle, and just like any muscle, we can strengthen it. By strengthening our diaphragm, we'll be able to breathe much more efficiently. Let's do a little bit of weight training with our diaphragm. Lay on your back on your mat and place a weight over your stomach, around the belly button region. Now inhale and exhale using your abdomen, nice and slowly. Breathing practice, called pranayama, is a very important part of yoga. One of the most basic pranayamas, breathing practices, is yogic breathing. And this is what we're going to practice now. When we breathe in a yogic way, we breathe using the abdomen, the chest or thorax, and the upper chest, the clavicle or collarbone. As we inhale, we expand our abdomen first, contracting our diaphragm. And then we expand the chest using the intercostal muscles, the muscles in between our ribs. And then finally, our clavicle, our collarbone rises in the upper chest. And then as we exhale, our collarbone, our clavicle goes back down again, our chest contracts, and our abdomen draws in. We should do this in a nice, slow and controlled way, and it should feel fluid and continuous, and at no point should it cause any strain. It may take some time to develop this way of breathing. That's why it's called a practice. Another important practice in learning to control our breathing effectively is breath hold, kumbhaka in Sanskrit. Before we try the next couple of breathing exercises, pranayamas, try holding your breath and time to see how long you can hold your breath for. Once we've done the breathing exercises, we'll try holding our breath again and see if there's any difference. Another pranayama or breathing exercise is ujjayi breathing, also called victorious breath or ocean sound breath. It's called ocean sound breath because when we breathe with ujjayi breathing, we constrict the back of the throat, creating friction as the air passes through, which makes a hissing sound, which is similar to the sound of the ocean. By breathing in this way, we build internal heat due to the friction of the air passing over the back of the throat, which is constricted. Breathing in an ujjayi way helps to relieve stress, helps us to relax and focus. To breathe in an ujjayi way, we breathe in and out through the nose, but as we do so, we constrict the back of the throat. This is easier to do on the exhale than it is on the inhale, so it takes some practice. Another pranayama, which is excellent for building diaphragm strength and also strengthening and toning the abdominal region, is bhastrika, or bellows breath. It's called bellows breath because when you breathe with bhastrika, it sounds like a bellows. It's a really energizing pranayama that really helps to calm the mind. It also raises the partial pressure of the air in your chest. So you'll find that after practicing bhastrika, you won't feel the urge to breathe straight away, and you'll find that you can hold your breath for longer. To practice bhastrika, take a deep breath and then breathe out forcefully through the nose without any strain. Then immediately breathe in with the same force. Inhale and exhale repeatedly, deeply and thoroughly. When you inhale, you should forcefully push your diaphragm down, and when you exhale, you should pull your abdominal muscles in to force air out of your lungs. The movement should be exaggerated and there will be a strong nasal sound when you're breathing with bhastrika. The process should be rhythmic and controlled. People with high blood pressure, heart disease, vertigo, stomach or intestine problems, glaucoma and asthma should exercise caution while practicing bhastrika. Now practice holding your breath again. This time before you hold your breath, take the time to take some nice long, slow and deep breaths in and out through the nose. Make sure you exhale fully. This will lower the level of carbon dioxide in your body. Carbon dioxide triggers the breathing process. This should help you to extend your breath hold time. After practicing the breathing exercises, do you notice any difference in the amount of time that you can hold your breath for? You should be able to hold it for longer. Practice consciously coordinating your breath with your movement with sun salutations. Inhale, exhale, namaste mudra. Inhale, raise your arms up, slight backwards bend. Exhale, fold forward into forward fold. Drop your head to your knees. Inhale, take your right leg back, knee down, foot down, look up. Hold your breath, bring your other leg back into plank position. Exhale, bring your knees down, your chest down and your chin down into ashtanga asana. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into down dog. Inhale, look up, shift your weight forward and bring your right leg forward, knee down, foot down, look up. Exhale, bring your other leg forward into forward fold. Inhale, raise your arms up, slight backwards bend. Round 2. Exhale, come forward into forward fold. Inhale, your left leg back, knee down, foot down, look up. Hold your breath. Bring the other leg back into plank position. Exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down into ashtanga asana. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, look forward, shift your weight forward And then bring your leg forward, knee down, foot down, look up. Exhale, other leg forward, into forward fold. Inhale, raise your arms up, slight backwards bend. Hands back into Namaste Mudra. Come to the mat in tabletop position. Your hands should be shoulder width apart, directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees should be hip width apart, directly underneath your hips. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, round your back towards the ceiling, tuck your head under, and look at your belly button. As you inhale, drop your belly to the floor, raise your sit bones, and look up at the ceiling. Then, as you exhale, round your back again, looking at your belly button. This is the cat stretch. As you inhale, look up towards the ceiling, drop your belly to the floor, raise your sit bones. This is the cow stretch. Keep on moving in this way, coordinating your movement with your breath. As you go into the cat stretch, exhale, and as you go into the cow stretch, inhale. If you have any problems with your wrists, then rather than resting on the palms of your hands, you can rest on your fists instead. This will take the pressure off of your wrists. Alternatively, you can move your hands slightly further forward on the mat. This will also take direct pressure off of the wrist. Lay on your back and bend your knees to bring your heels close to your bottom, with your feet about the width of the mat. Your arms should be at your sides with your palms facing towards the floor. As you inhale, raise your hips up off of the floor and bring your chest towards your chin. Clasp your hands together underneath your back and bring your shoulders closer together. This will allow you to push further up into the pose. Hold the pose for between 5 to 8 breaths. To challenge yourself a little bit more, you can come up onto your tiptoes, and this will allow you to push further into the stretch. Again, you can hold that for 5 to 8 breaths. Then as you exhale, slowly start to bring your hips down, release your hands, and bring your hips back down to the mat. Lay on your back on your mat, with your legs straight and together. Bring your arms out to the side at shoulder height, with your palms facing down towards the floor. Bend your right knee, bringing your heel towards your bottom. Then keeping your shoulders on the floor, twist towards your left hand side, bringing your knee, your right knee, to the floor on the left hand side. Look over towards your right hand. The important thing is that our shoulders stay on the floor. Otherwise we don't get the stretch properly down the side. So if you find that our shoulders are coming off of the floor, then you'll need to bring your knee slightly further away from the floor again. Now we can repeat the same thing on the other side. Raising the left knee, twist over to your right hand side, keeping your shoulders on the floor, bringing your knee to the floor on your right hand side and looking towards your left hand. Again, hold the stretch for 5 to 8 breaths. Lay on your front with your feet together. Place your palms either side of your chest with your elbows close into your body. As you inhale, look up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest. Remember to keep your shoulders down away from your ears and your elbows close in to your body. Take 5 to 8 breaths in this pose. Start off by practicing half camel. Come to stand on your knees with your knees about hip distance apart. Start off by bringing your right arm back over your head and bringing it to your right heel. Bring your left arm overhead at about a 60-degree angle and adopt Chin Mudra in your left hand. Look towards your left hand. Push your hips forward. Then we can practice the same on the other side. So this time bring your left arm back over your head to touch your left heel and bring your right arm towards the ceiling at about 60-degree angle with Chin Mudra in your hand. Look towards your right hand and push your hips forward. Now practice full camel. This is with both arms back, looking back. First of all, bring your right arm back to your right heel, then bring your left arm back to find your left heel. Look back and push your hips right forward. Really open that chest. Stand on your knees facing the side of your mat. Your knees should be about hip distance apart. Extend your right leg out straight to the side with your foot pointing towards the top of the mat. Lean over to your right hand side without leaning forwards and bring your arm to rest on your leg with your palm facing up with your fingers in Chin Mudra. Bring the other arm up and over your head and stretch right over. Look up towards the ceiling. You should feel that stretch all the way down your left hand side. We can then do the same on the other side. Bring the left leg out straight, with your foot pointing towards the top of the mat. Lean over, rest your arm with your palm facing up on your leg, and then reach your other arm right over your head and stretch right over. Look up towards the ceiling. Begin with your feet about 3 or 4 feet apart, with your feet facing towards your mat. Begin by turning your right foot out 90 degrees away from your left foot, so it's pointing towards the top of the mat and so that your heel is in line with the arch of your other foot. Bend your right knee, keeping it in line with the ankle, making sure it doesn't go over the ankle line. And now come to rest with your forearm on your thigh. Now look up and bring your left arm up over your head, creating a straight line from your ankle to the tips of your fingers. You should feel the stretch down your left hand side. Look up towards the fingertips on your left hand. Hold the pose for 5 to 8 breaths. And then we can do the same on the other side. This time turning your left foot out, so it's pointing towards the top of the mat. Bending your left knee. Again, bringing your forearm to rest on your thigh. Raise your arm up above your head to create that nice line from your heel to your wrist, and look up toward fingertips. Feel the stretch down your side. Again, hold the pose for 5 to 8 breaths. Begin by standing with your feet about 2 to 3 feet apart, with your feet facing towards the side of the mat. Begin by turning the right foot out, so it's 90 degrees away from the other foot facing towards the top of your mat. Your heel should be in line with the arch of your other foot. Inhale your arms up to shoulder level and have them out straight. Now exhale and shift your weight towards the right, keeping your legs straight. Bring your left arm up towards the ceiling and your right arm down so that your hand comes to rest on your shin. Your arms should be in line with one another, and your side should be straight, and you should feel the stretch down your side. If you lean too far forward, you'll lose that stretch. Then we can come to do the same on the other side. So this time turning your left foot out 90 degrees away from your right foot towards the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up to shoulder level, and then exhale to bring your left hand down to rest on your shin with your right hand up towards the ceiling. Look up towards your hand, feel that stretch down your right hand side. Again, don't lean too far forward, you should stay in line so that you feel that stretch down your side. Again, hold the pose for 5 to 8 breaths. Well done. Now relax in corpse pose, savasana, to feel the effects of your practice. Remember to breathe nice and slowly and deeply, using your abdomen and your chest. A nice balancing pranayama to finish your practice is nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. To practice this pranayama, place your first finger and your middle finger against your forehead and use your thumb to close off your right nostril and your ring finger to close off your left nostril. Begin by taking a breath in through your left nostril, so use your thumb to close your right nostril. Take a nice, long, slow inhalation and then close off your left nostril. Release your right nostril and take a nice, long, slow exhalation through your right nostril. Your exhalation should be about twice the length of your inhalation. Take then a nice, long, slow inhalation through your right nostril, close it off, and then exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Close it off, and exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril, close it, and then exhale through your left nostril. Keep alternating nostrils in the same way. Repeat this for about 3 to 10 rounds. Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, has a really nice calming and balancing effect and is a really nice way to finish your practice. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma yodirgamaya marityoma amritam gamaya. The meaning of this mantra is, from ignorance lead me to truth, from darkness lead me to light, from death lead me to immortality.